What's up, investors? It's the Russian dude. Today we are diving deep into the ongoing and complex situation in the Kursk region, a conflict that has captured the attention of both military analysts and the general public. The current events are unfolding under a thick fog of war, making it increasingly difficult to obtain clear and accurate information. What we are witnessing is a dynamic and fast-paced conflict where maneuver warfare has taken center stage, replacing the previous stalemate that characterized much of the war so far. For the first time in a considerable period, the Ukrainian forces have gained significant momentum. They are no longer merely reacting to Russian advances, but are actively dictating the pace and strategy on the battlefield. This shift is critical because it means the Ukrainians now have the strategy initiative. They decide when and where to engage the enemy, when to advance, and when to withdraw. This level of control allows them to exploit weaknesses in the Russian defenses, keeping their opponents off balance and forcing them to react rather than take the initiative. The impact of this momentum is profound. With the Ukrainian forces in control of the battlefield dynamics, the Russian military is left scrambling to respond. The delay in the response is inevitable, especially as long as the Ukrainians maintain their reserves and continue to capitalize on their tactical advances. This has created a scenario where the traditional lines of conflict are blurred, making it nearly impossible to distinguish between fact and fiction in the flow of information. Amid this confusion, rumors and unverified reports have begun to circulate widely, fueling a sense of panic. A prime example of this is the Telegram post by Igor Karpunkov, the mayor of Kurchatov, who warned of combat taking place just a few dozen miles from the town. The proximity of Kurchatov to the Kursk nuclear power plant has heightened anxiety, as any threat to the plant could have catastrophic consequences. Despite official attempts to calm the public, the fear persists, exacerbated by the lack of reliable information. One particular alarming incident involved the destruction of a Russian military convoy. This event, captured on video by a local resident, has had far-reaching consequences. By the way, the individual who recorded the footage now faces charges of high treason, highlighting the extreme measures being taken to control the narrative surrounding the conflict. This incident has further agitated pro-war bloggers who were already on the edge due to the deteriorating situation. The logistical challenges facing the Russian military have become a focal point of criticism. For example, it has been pointed out that armored vehicles cannot be quickly deployed to the front lines due to their reliance on rail transport. This delay makes them vulnerable to Ukrainian attacks, as seen is the destruction of one of the convoys. The sight of a long column of vehicles, many of which were civilian-looking without any military camouflage, moving towards the combat zone has raised serious concerns. The convoy, which included WAZ vans and civilian ATVs, was also poorly organized, with vehicles stopping literally bumper to bumper, making them easy targets for enemy fire. The consequences of this poor planning were evident in another part of the Kursk region, where footage showed the aftermath of an attack on such convoy. At least 14 destroyed Urals and Kamaz trucks were visible in the video, though the full extent of the damage cannot be shown due to YouTube censorship. The pro-war bloggers have been vocal in their demands for accountability, questioning how many more convoys have suffered similar fates, without the public's knowledge. The reaction from the pro-war Telegram channels has been chaotic, to say the least. These channels, once seen as reliable sources of information, have become increasingly erratic, with bloggers swinging between panic and denial. Despite the confusion, these channels continue to provide more detailed insights than the official updates from the Ministry of Defense and the General Staff, who seem completely disconnected from the realities of the ground. The disconnect between the official narrative and the reports from the front lines has only added to the sense of disillusionment among those following the conflict. Some bloggers have even directed their criticism at the pro-Kremlin Zvezda TV channel, accusing them of broadcasting sensitive military movements while punishing those who share similar information online. This hypocrisy has not gone unnoticed, and in some cases, Ukrainian forces have reportedly benefited from these broadcasts, potentially gaining access to traffic camera footage that tracks Russian troop movements. The idea that the Russian media could be aiding the enemy has only deepened the mistrust within pro-war circles. The disconnect among pro-war bloggers has reached new heights, with harsh criticism directed not only at the military command, but also at civil authorities. They decry the lies, complacency, and failure to learn from past mistakes, pointing to these factors as contributing to the ongoing struggles on the battlefield. However, one name remains conspicuously absent from their critiques: Vladimir Putin. The narrative remains that local officials are to blame, while Putin is portrayed as a leader above the fray, disconnected from the failings of those below him. This selective criticism reflects a broader trend within the pro-war community, where the focus is on individual failings rather than systemic issues. For example, the Kursk nuclear power plant has become a symbol of the high stakes involved in this conflict. The plant is seen as the strategic target for Ukrainian forces, who could potentially use it as a leverage in negotiations. The fear of surrendering the plant has already led to unconfirmed reports of nearby areas being captured by Ukrainian forces, though these reports remain speculative at best. The Kursk nuclear power plant's strategic importance cannot be overstated. If the Ukrainians were to capture the plant, it could lead to regional blackouts and significantly impact the Russian military's ability to operate in the area. However, such a move would not come without risks. The potential for a nuclear disaster is a serious concern, and any attack on the plant could have far-reaching consequences, not just for the region, but for the entire world. The possibility of another Chernobyl or Fukushima looms large, and the international community would undoubtedly respond strongly to any threat to the plant. Despite these risks, the Ukrainian forces may not need to physically capture the nuclear power plant to achieve their objectives. A few well-planned missile strikes or artillery rounds could force the plant's administration to shut down the reactors, effectively rendering the plant non-operational while it remains under Russian control. This would be a significant blow to the Russian military, which relies on the plant for power and obviously other resources. Such a move would also raise serious concerns among Ukraine's European allies, who are already wary of any potential for a man-made disaster. The ongoing conflict in the Kursk region represents a critical moment in the broader war. For the first time since the liberation of Kherson in 2022, the Ukrainian army has regained its momentum, and with it, a renewed sense of purpose on the battlefield. The question now is whether they have the capabilities to sustain this momentum and to achieve their objectives. The Ukrainian forces have shown resilience and adaptability, but the challenges ahead are still significant. As the situation continues to evolve, it is becoming increasingly clear that the Ukrainian military strategy is not focused solely on territorial gains. Instead, they are working to establish strong defensive positions in the Kursk region, potentially forcing the Russian forces into a difficult choice: either mount a counteroffensive or concede ground. These implications of this strategy are profound, as it could shift the balance of power in the region and alter the course of the conflict. The Kursk region is not just another contested area, no, it is Russian territory, and Kremlin will be desperate to reclaim it. However, if the Russian government fails to hold this region while continuing to push into Ukraine, it could mark a significant degradation of their military and political strategy. The potential for internal dissent and unrest within Russia is growing, as the pro-war bloggers and other voices of discontent become increasingly vocal in their criticism. In the end, the situation in the Kursk region is a microcosm of the broader conflict, a battle for control, momentum, and the future direction of the war. The coming days and weeks will be critical in determining the outcome of this conflict, and we will be here to keep you guys informed on every step along the way. If you found this video interesting and informative for both, please like it and subscribe to my channel for more updates like this. For channel support you can use links down below, PayPal, Patreon for extra uncensored footage. Everything else is also down below. Thank you so much for watching. See you tomorrow.
We won't succumb to their tricks, the facade they try to sell. Their twisted words and feeble claims on us all they cannot quell. We see through their lies, their feeble attempts to sway. We do not believe in ridiculous Russian propaganda.